Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Jackson County Board of Supervisors meeting for Tuesday, August 27th. With me today, Don, and myself, Mike, are your county supervisors. Vicky Smith is our county auditor. Bjorn is IT, and Luann is our executive assistant here today with us. And first on our agenda is the public hearing on the Canton Alley vacation. We will open the public meeting at this time. Has anyone received any comments or calls or any of the sort for?
I have not received any calls, comments, emails, texts, phone calls, nothing.
I've got nothing.
I have not. Engineer's office?
Nope, nothing other than the original petition.
I mean, to me, it looks like it makes complete sense to vacate and to. And then it allocates back to the neighboring owners, is that correct?
Yep, equal halves.
Okay, so, but no survey is done or anything like to that effect.
Nope.
So it's up to the two property owners to kind of decide where the fence goes? Or is it staked out or?
Nothing staked out, so.
Good.
This is just to vacate it, so yeah, whatever process would follow would be on the property owners.
Okay. Hearing no, any other comments, I would,
Motion to close the public hearing?
Second that.
I got a motion and a second to close the public hearing. All those in favor say aye.
All right,
Aye, opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Now on our agenda, on our first item on our agenda is Todd Keeney and Jaden Shekel, our Jackson County engineers.
So the first item is a resolution for the right of way. Vacation.
so to take action on the vacation.
And that is resolution 1061 08 27 2024, should you choose to vacate.
I make a motion to go ahead with the resolution and vacate.
Second,
I have a motion and a second to approve resolution number 1061 08 27 2024 as presented for the vacation of the Canton Alley. As described. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed. Motion carried.
Next is discussion and action on 90th Street, the level B improvement. So last week, sorry, to set the date for a public hearing. So last week we kind of discussed the plans, cost estimate, all that, just due to the nature of that, what that project all entailed. And per our policy, we do have to schedule a public hearing, even if it's in favor or to approve or not approve. The right steps are to just still have the public hearing for that. I did talk to the property owner who initiated this petition, and he did state at this time he is not wanting to proceed with this, so I see, the public hearing going, we would make a recommendation to not continue, but to follow the policy, we still would have to hold the public hearing.
Okay, well then we'll have a public hearing and we'll see what we get for comments or concerns, I should say. We can still decide after the public hearing, correct? We can go with recommendation. We can gather information until then. So what's our dates for a public hearing?
We said September 10th. We talked about
I'll put it in the paper the 4th.
I put it in the paper the 4th, that's.
it. Yes, I'd send it out this Friday.
Is that enough?
It's 4 and 20, isn't it, for this?
So do you count? What days do you count? Do you count the 4th, 5th, and 6th and the 9th? Or do
Yes.
you
The
count it?
paper actually released on the 4th.
Yeah,
I thought the Wednesday, yeah.
some
Then
people,
that would be-
do some people get it Tuesday?
Yeah, in the afternoon.
Yeah, if you pick it
I
up.
don't know if you count that or not, but
I would, but still, if you counted,
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Monday.
right,
You do, there's no, you can do it the 17th.
Yeah, I mean, there's no hurry.
Yeah.
I don't know the legality of counting the days. That's my only, if it's a partial day or if it's a half a day or whatever, it's a full 8 hours.
I'm feeling like the council.
This was a question that was brought up out at the state level. You know, if you publish them at 9 o'clock on Monday morning, is it good for 9 o'clock on Tuesday? That's 24-hour notice, right? Well, the courthouse is only open from 9 to 3. It's still 24-hour notice.
Do it on the 17th.
Make a motion to do a public hearing at 9 o'clock on the 17th.
I'll second that.
Have a motion and a second to have a public hearing on the 17th of September at 9 a.m. for the action on the 90th Street improvement. All those in favor say aye. Aye, opposed, same sign, motion carried.
Can give a brief update on projects. The concrete at the intersection of Y-61 and Highway 62 is completed. They're working on shouldering today and pavement markings are scheduled for tomorrow, so assuming that happens tomorrow, the road will be back open tomorrow. And project should be done. 184th Avenue Bridge, the road is closed as of yesterday, so they will start construction tomorrow with tearing out. They got their equipment mobilized in, so tomorrow we'll start some demolition work. Day labors to follow after that.
The fog seal was completed and
Yes.
waiting for pavement markings for how many days?
It's 21 cure days from the day they applied it, so they started and finished last Tuesday. But we can go today, so 21 days from then is when they'll apply, or when they can start to apply pavement markings.
I appreciate you telling me that or letting me know that, because I know how to answer when the guy says, when the pavement marking's coming, well, it just got done that day, but you know.
Yes, so, and they have their signage out that says, no pavement markings.
Yeah.
Appropriately, but
Yeah.
yes, it'll be a couple weeks yet.
And 250th is really nice. It's a great improvement. Appreciate it, guys.
That's all I have, unless you guys have any questions.
Any questions for Todd or Dayton?
No.
Stay
Is this the
indoors,
last
fellas.
meeting We'll see you, Todd.
Yes.
What?
We appreciate everything you've done.
Thanks for the
Hard to
opportunity.
see how you do as a part-time assistant county engineer.
It's a new challenge. New challenge. No, I've enjoyed my time here. It's been good, and I've learned as much as probably have.
I think we're better off for you being here, what you've been doing with the roads and all that kind of stuff, and so we thank you for everything you did, at least I do.
I just
We
had
appreciate
my little
your-
goodbye at the safety meeting. I told the guys to appreciate their.
They were all
efforts.
cheering, weren't they?
I said, you know, change is hard, it's scary sometimes, but I appreciate the efforts they put forward to try and, make changes, because it's change is tough.
It is.
It's tough.
You know, and we do appreciate all you've done in the programs that you've implemented and the progress that we've made, I'd say. I sometimes feel it's slightly easier for an outsider to come in and say, hey, this is the way it's gonna be, because you don't have to live and look at every day with your neighbor or your next door neighbor or your cousin or whatever it is. But so we appreciate you taking the initiative to do that and what you've done for us, and we'll see you around. We ain't not gonna draw any tears here today, but you know.
I told the guys too, I said, you'll see me around yet, so we're still neighbors, so I said, if I drive around, and I see something wrong with the road, I'm calling Rick right away.
Yeah, don't call me.
Greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
You gave
Well,
us.
thank you guys, and thank you, Todd, again.
Yep.
Don't be a stranger. You can always come in and sit on the visitor section, you know?
Just gotta get all that stuff.
Y'all need to take pointers.
Okay, so next on our agenda would be visitors or citizens. Is there anyone online or here? I don't see anyone here.
There was somebody here.
There was somebody here, but they left right after the vacation of the camp. With that being said, we'll move right on to our next, to Dawn Danielson from ECIA, Development Coordinator for the Brownfields Project Manager. Good morning, Dawn.
Morning, everybody. Thank you for having me join the meeting today. been a while since I've attended a meeting and given everybody an update on the Brownfields program here at ECIA, so I thought it was a good time to do that. I had provided a handout, hopefully you received that kind of summarizes not only the current grants we have, but prior grants we have and the success with them. So you'll notice in that handout, since 2016, we've had 2 assessment grants that have been closed out of that total about 1.1 million. And of those funds, $864,600 was designated for assessment and planning activities. Jackson County benefited with $233,682 of those funds, so about 27%. And that was kind of spread over 8 sites throughout Jackson County. And I list out the sites and then the activities that occurred in the summary. Few of them were in Bellevue, a couple in Macokota, and then Preston and Miles were the other locations that received funds throughout the county. In addition to the Brownfields program, ECIA also has helped on those project sites in other ways. So, for example, in Macokota, the Clinton Engines site, we've been working with the city of Macokota on that site and have connected them with EPA for some target funding. So right now you'll see it's about, I think, $160,000-$70,000 that has been spent through ECIA's Brownfield program, but in totality, EPA has spent another 500,000 plus doing additional assessment on that site alone. And the city is working on, they have a RFP out that I assisted them with to hire a consultant to help to kind of move that set along to a no further action, hopefully for the entire property. Which, it's a process to do that, but they're really dedicated to moving towards that direction on that particular site. And then that kind of takes care of this prior grants that we assisted the city, or I'm sorry, the county on. But then under our current assessment grant, I've also outlined a little bit of a summary on that. And it's been great having Jackson County as a coalition partner for these grants. One of the things that I do for each site is I send to whomever is the chairperson for the Board of Supervisors a list of any site that we're looking for getting approval from EPA on to use the funds. And the county has to sign off basically an acknowledgement that they didn't contribute to contamination on the site. And Jackson County is always very prompt in getting me those signatures so I can keep the projects moving along. So that's been very, very great to have that working relationship with the county. You'll see under the current assessment grant, which we just started last year in July, we have about 159,000 in funds that has been spent. None so far in Jackson County under that grant. However, with the grant, there is a requirement that at minimum 2 sites will utilize funds. And I have been speaking to several communities throughout Jackson County, trying to see, where we could potentially best use some of those funds for the county. So the revolving loan fund was also replenished here in 2023. Currently, we have a project in Clinton, the YMCA, that is underway, and then we have 2 projects actually that have been completed, one in Stanwood and one in Clinton, Iowa here. But we're looking for additional projects potentially to utilize the revolving loan funds for cleanups. Again, I've been talking to a few communities in regards to possibly utilizing funds in Jackson County as well, but nothing has come to fruition in regards to the RLF. We've actually helped those communities maybe look at the Iowa DNR Dairy Building Grant or other programs instead of the RLF that were better suited. So, anybody have any questions on the summary that I, shared with you?
Did you have a question, Don, about
Who's the consultant that McCook is using for Clinton Hedges? Is it still Impact 7G?
So the city has actually got an RFP out to hire a consultant. Impact 7G, Terracon, even Blackstone have helped the city in the past on various components of assessing. But the city, now that they want to move toward the no further action with the IODNR, has decided that the best thing to do would be to get a consultant in place that can help them from basically A to Z of not only completing the hopefully little assessment that is needed of delineating where the soil contamination is, and then come up with a cleanup plan and actually carry out that cleanup of any soil contamination. It's looking like, from what I've looked at the environmental assessments, it's, there's some soil contamination. I think, from what I've looked at, that's really confined to a small portion of the parcel, the 12 acres. So it's one of the steps that's needed is actually delineating the area that has the soil contamination, and then contracting out to have somebody actually remove that, which would move the city a lot closer to no further action. There's other things that have to happen too, like environmental covenant, which attorney would have to assist the city with, for no wells to be put on the property to restrict kind of groundwater usage on that site, and maybe some vapor barrier restrictions as well. But the hope is the city has their RFP out. I think it's due the first week of September. And then once they get back, hopefully they get back at least 2 or 3 consultants that want to bid on that. And then the city will select one that could help them basically from A to Z on that. So while Impact 7G has helped them in the past, they're not, haven't been selected yet, or nobody has been selected yet to help them going forward, the city.
Thank you.
Okay,
Dawn, I know we've talked briefly about this, me and you before, and it's been a while, so I guess I'd like a brief update. I know I asked you about one, like a county-owned building. We have a old limestone insane asylum, what they call it. And I see, of course, we're abating here the asbestos removal in some of these buildings. Then does it have to be demolished or abated, the building? We have some real cleanup to do in this building because of it has not been animal tight for a while.
Yeah, I
Is
think
that something that you would assist in somehow, or if there's some kind of program that we could get?
Yeah, I remember discussing that structure with you. I think the first thing would be for that particular property, and that's county owned, correct?
Yeah.
We could do like an asbestos inspection to determine what the asbestos is, and that should be really helpful, because then if it needs to be abated, what all needs to be abated. And to be quite honest, I would recommend doing one of those sooner versus later, because if you have any portion of that structure that starts to collapse, let's just say the roof starts to go bad and you can't safely inspect it, the cost for like a demolish of the site would shoot up, because it then becomes, instead of being able to remove the asbestos safely and deconstruct, you're actually talking, you would be doing a rackham demolition of everything would be considered asbestos. And that's what happened in Clinton on the South 4th Street. Everything was considered asbestos. So it really shot up the cost for removing all that. So I can look at potentially utilizing the funds for that particular site. I can't remember the background on that. We have to determine, that the county did not contribute to any of the contamination on the site, and I don't know if the county had built the structures or not, or if somebody else did it and then the county acquired that. I'm thinking that the county built or was part of the construction of those buildings. So then I would just need somebody else to be my applicant. So like the Jackson County Economic Alliance could apply for assessment funds to do an asbestos inspection on that site. Unfortunately, that's just the asbestos inspection, doesn't get you to the abatement, but we can see, basically first take that first step and find out if there is asbestos. And then after that, kind of see what options there might be available.
So I'm not specifically talking asbestos. I'm talking about cleanup in general, I'm talking mostly animal fecus, that's what I'm getting after, so.
Yeah.
If the problem, it's gonna be expensive if we have to wear suits and masks and whatnot, that might be the way to do it,
It was built in 1872, so it might predate asbestos tiles and stuff.
I think it's just rock limestone, that's.
Yeah. Yeah, there might though be some components within the building that have asbestos in it, so throughout the building, like tiling or flooring or unless it's been gutted. So it might not hurt to have the asbestos reviewed. As far as like cleanup of, removing these like debris or anything like that, the grant doesn't necessarily cover that type of cleanup. It's more of an environmental hazard, contaminants, your soil, your groundwater, asbestos, lead-based paint, those type of things that EPA looks to assist with the RLF for cleanup. I'm not even sure if what sources there would be for good funding for actual what you're talking about is that in regards to that type of
We
thing.
should talk about it again, if you're down this way sometime, it might be just a drive by or open the door, I'm not so sure what the condition of it is right now, but it is quite unique.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes back a long ways and there's writings on the wall and such, so it's
Okay.
it's
Yeah,
been from
yeah.
a sane asylum to a hog house to a sheep building back to a vacant building that somebody wants to camp in or stay overnight,
Wow. Yeah, definitely when I'm down there, I can schedule time to maybe take a look at the property and discuss, and then I can also maybe come back.
Might be. Okay, any questions for Dawn? Any other questions? Well, we sure appreciate the update and the work that you're doing there, so any questions from us, feel free, you know where we're at.
All right, well, thank you. Thanks again for having me here today.
Thanks, Dawn, have a good day. Okay, Luann? Good morning.
Good morning. Keep it short. So we get in the warm room. All right, calendar for this week. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. is an IRIS meeting in Dubuque by Zoom for NIN. And at 7 o'clock tomorrow night, it's a Jackson County EMS Association meeting in Lamont. For any of you that want to go to that, I believe it's at the fire department. Thursday, August 29th at 2:30 p.m., which is a very odd time for this, is the Mississippi Valley Workforce CEO meeting by Zoom for Don. Monday, September 2nd is Labor Day, and the entire courthouse will be closed that day. Our next regular meeting will be on Tuesday, September 3rd at 9 a.m. The only other business I have this morning, you have a copy in your binders of a letter of support for the green space for a T-Mobile grant. So I'm looking for a motion to approve that and have the chair sign it.
Has everyone had the opportunity to read that over agreement and any questions?
Second that.
Got a motion and a second to approve the Green Space T-Mobile grant letter of support as presented. All those in favor say aye. Aye, opposed, same sign, motion carried.
And Ben Davison may be in here later to give you a little more information on that.
Okay,
That's all I had.
okay, appreciate it, thank you. And Lisa, you ready?
Yep. This morning, I need a motion to approve the minutes of the August 2024 board proceedings as written by Auditor Smith and authorize publication in the official newspapers.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the August 2024 board proceedings as written and publication in the papers. All those in favor say aye. Aye opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
I need a motion to approve and authorize the auditor's office to issue warrants in the publication of the claims listing in the amount of $343,678.41.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the claims as submitted. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye opposed. Motion carried.
That's all that I have for the board today.
Thank you very much.
Mhm.
Any board or commission reports? As you some of you know, most of us spent the majority of last week in Des Moines at our state conference for ISAC, the State Association of Counties. For me, it was a very good meeting. Had a lot of interaction with other counties, questions and answers and whatnot, speculations, if you will, and how they operate some of their programs. It works good. We had some real good speakers and trying to keep up with AI and whatnot. So there's a lot of information to take in out there. So I don't know what kind of experience my two colleagues had.
Very similar experience.
Yeah, very good.
Let's hear how other people tackle the same problems we have, because there's a lot of different perspectives and approaches to do that.
I will tell you that a lot of the programs and implementation of different things that they had ideas of, we already implemented, so I felt pretty good about that. We're on the front line the way it looks, and yeah, it's good to keep up with it, so. I don't have any other reports as far as commissions or,
We were up there, so.
yeah. At this time, we'll take a short recess. We will reconvene our meeting at this time, and joining us is Beth Gerlach, our Jackson County Treasurer. Good morning.
Good morning. So, are you guys aware of the county health tax sale certificate procedure? I can explain.
Well, so why don't you briefly explain? I mean, I know it's changed over the last 3, 4, 5 years. I don't remember how it's gone or.
Yeah, so when a parcel has delinquent taxes on it and it goes to tax sale the first year and doesn't sell, it remains unpaid and then goes to the next year's tax sale. It will be called a public bidder tax sale. And if it's on for the second year and doesn't get purchased that year, it automatically becomes a county held tax sale certificate. So the county doesn't pay the taxes, they just remain due, but the county is the tax sale certificate holder for that parcel. So it doesn't go back to tax sale continuously, it just goes to 2 years.
So if it goes to tax sale and a successful bidder buys the property, they pay the back taxes, correct?
Yep, they don't buy the property, they just pay the taxes and they hold the certificate for 1 year and 9 months. And then they can serve a 90-day notice. And if it's not redeemed within that 90 days, then they can take deed to it.
Okay,
So in this instance, when it's a county held tax sale certificate, and someone's interested, we can assign that tax sale certificate to an interested investor who's gonna pay the amount due.
so just like one investor can do, I mean,
Yeah, we can. do
can
that.
ask for that?
Mhm.
And we don't have to put it out to the public then?
No, it only goes out again if it doesn't get purchased. And then it goes to an adjourned tax sale. But this has already been on tax sale 2 times, so it is a tax sale certificate already held by us. Any investor that holds a tax sale certificate can assign it to anyone they want to once they hold it. So we are now holding the tax sale certificate and can assign it to an investor who wants to have it assigned to them. They just need to pay for it.
You're talking one specific property?
Yes, here's the parcel, just to turn it off if you guys want to know where it's at. So this person is interested in this landlocked L-shaped parcel because he's wanting to purchase a parcel that is just across the alley from it.
Sure.
So that's why he.
I did.
I thought that we could not be landlocked. What's this alleyway? No, that's not an alleyway. What is that?
He thought it looked like an
That
alley.
piece right there.
I think that piece.
That is a platted alley in the city of Macocota.
With a garage on it. Or a
Yes.
Couple garages on it.
Which is very
Looks-
common, unfortunately.
Yeah, it looks that way. So, yeah, because he's interested in buying that parcel there, he would also be interested in this L-shaped one there. So I've talked to other treasurers about whether it's required for me to come to the Board of Supervisors and ask to do this, or if I just can assign it myself. Some treasurers will just assign it themselves, others will come to the board, it's about half and half. It's not required that I do it, apparently. I can assign it to an investor as long as I'm not asking for taxes to be abated. If I was asking for abated taxes, then I would have to come to you guys and ask to sell it for a lesser price. But in this case, I'm just going to make it a habit of coming in every time someone asks to have one of these.
I would say
assigned.
the board would appreciate you doing
Yeah.
that and thanking you for letting us know. So when somebody stops us on the street corner, we have a little bit of information
Right.
before it comes to blows. Yeah. So
Right,
I'm
right.
just saying that it
Yes,
should be out here for the public to know and for us to know so that
yeah,
if questions are asked, this is how it went down.
yeah.
Um,
I think the other one that abuts up to it, and
Yeah.
5,000 is also a
interest.
county
part.
health tax sale certificate.
That's kind of where that L shape falls into.
Yeah, I believe that one's also a county health tax sale certificate, but that one has a lot more due on it. It has a lot of special assessments from the city of Macocota attached to it. So the price on that one is quite higher, maybe 9,000 or something, but this one's only $103. For us to assign it, and then we would collect a $10 assignment fee as well.
Okay,
When you
so
assign that, then he still has to wait the 2 years?
When you assign a county held, because it's already been on the tax sale for 1 year, that 1 year counts towards the 1 year and 9 months. So he would just have to wait the 9 months from the tax sale date of June 17th, 2024. So March of 2025, he could serve the 90-day notice. And if it's not redeemed within that 90 days, then he could go through the process to take deed. And it's also a process to file the 90-day notice too. There's attorney's.
is it public
fees
record
involved
of
with
what is owed on it for taxes right now?
that. $103.
That's what 203 was, okay?
Yeah, so that's, the certificate, when it went to tax sale, it was $97 and it's had some 2% interest per month added on, so now it's 103.
The wishes of the board, questions for Beth?
You got a hand on it.
So is that a motion?
I guess,
Sure.
Questions?
well, my kind of question, but I guess it doesn't really matter to me, but if he doesn't acquire the other property, he's bought a landlocked property that
Right.
he can't legally get to with anything.
And well, unless you can drive in that alley, I don't know,
Through the garage.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
There's a.
Get the door.
Yeah. Right, so, right, you'd be taking that risk.
I guess I'll second the motion.
I have a motion to, and a second to give permission to assign a county held tax sales certificate as presented. All those in favor say aye. Aye opposed, motion carried.
Alrighty, do you guys, are you okay with me signing the certificate?
If that's legal and suffice, yes, I am.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Stay cool.
Yeah, same. I'm a chiller apparently.
Is it,
today.
you see, you don't see Nathan out there, do you?
No, Nathan.
All right, we'll take a short recess at this time.
Ready.
We will reconvene at this time and we've had an appointment that has been canceled. So actually Ben Davison is here with Jackson County Economic Alliance. Ben, you want to join us for a bit? Give us an update?
Sure thing. Here
I'm actually going to be speaking on behalf of Macokota Betterment Corporation.
Oh.
I'm the vice chair of the group, and we have been applying for several different grants and doing our own fundraising for the green space redevelopment project, which the county has graciously given some contribution for. And I'm applying for a grant right now with the T-Mobile Hometown forgot the full name of the grant, Hometown Grant Program, where we could be awarded up to $50,000 towards the green space redevelopment project. And I need letters of support for that, since the county is a strong partner in that project. I'd like to ask you all if you'd be willing to sign a letter of support for that. And do we have copies of that available?
We
approved it
did.
already.
We just
Oh.
approved that.
Oh, that's already been approved. Oh, well then.
Pretty fast this morning. Sorry.
Well, well then, if that's already set, then how about a little bit of a,
We might have you beg a little bit more, yeah.
please, we really need this.
Now, we have
Oh, that's
approved
great.
that, letter of support, and we were committed to our pledge from the onset, so.
Oh, excellent. No, we appreciate that. That'll help us, that'll, bring us a long way, because we did have an issue, with our fundraising, just that the state handed down different rules this year than what had existed last year, so we had to adjust our plan. But this grant and your guys' continued support of the project will help us get there. So that's great.
Yep, appreciate what you're doing, so. It's a nice venue over there. There is a event there, is it this Thursday night?
Yes.
Should be.
So maybe the last event, other than one
Other
that
than-
wasn't scheduled that I
One a
read.
year.
It'll be the last official event,
Official
but
event.
then when Mactoberfest comes around,
Right,
they'll have another performance on the green. So that'll be the last thing going on this calendar year for music. But that's all that I had.
appreciate the report.
All right,
Thank you, Ben. Okay, with that being said, any other business before the board?
Motion adjourned.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed? Motion carried, meeting adjourned. Thank you all and stay cool.